Hi, my name is Claddy and welcome back to my channel. This is a very long overdue episode of Search for the Novelty. This is inspired by the new makeup releases series on YouTube, also Anti-Haul, also Critical Stats by Homemade Toms, where we talk about new makeup releases. Either we want to buy them or we think they are kind of dumb and unnecessary. I have a feeling that I will show a lot of disinterest in a lot of makeup that I talk about today because it's really hard for me to gather only 5 makeup items that I mildly am interested in. And that is so unheard of me, if you know me, and how much I love talking about makeup, how much I love applying makeup, how much I love buying makeup. But maybe I have shifted my vision towards makeup and how I do my makeup. So lately, it has been really challenging for me to look through all of the new makeup releases and think about, oh, I really want to get these. But I think because it's long overdue, when I look back at the items that I actually want, I think they have certain qualities that would be novel. That's why I call it Search for Novelty. They are novel to my collections that I can really consider to bring them to my collections. And I guess the thing that has changed my vision towards makeup is that I got a new job recently and I started the job for 2-3 months up to this point already, and my income has been really stable compared to just a few months ago. I in turn dedicate a bigger budget for fun items in my monthly budget. So it's including clothes, including, accessory, skincare, hair care, decorations, and also I think so far the biggest quota within that budget is for makeup, and I think that's a huge change for my life, also for my makeup journey. But the trickiest part is that when makeup become more accessible and more available, more affordable for me, the influx of makeup to my life has also become overwhelming, if you know what I mean. So like if you have an excessive collections of makeup, and it's not a problem at all for you to think about one makeup item one day and get a chance to purchase it tomorrow. Everything is so benign, so innate, and to be realistic, so easy. There's no struggle at all for you to really think of whether you should get that product or not. And maybe it takes away the fun of me putting the makeup item in the back burner for like a few weeks, even a few months. Well, I don't think it would be that hard and that lengthy ever again, because now I can just get it. So I think it's just a thing in my mind that I need to figure out whether I look at makeup and remain the mentality of scarcity. If it's so rare, if it's so unique, if it's so precious. Every time I acquire a precious piece of makeup, it will become so important. It will become so precious to my collections, and I will use it as if it's the only thing that I could have. But if I consider makeup to be a default expense in my life because I have this huge budget for it every month, and I don't do YouTube as a career, and I don't use my makeup to circulate my career progressions. I think I would get into a trap of now I don't want to apply makeup anymore because the amount of makeup that I own right now is so overwhelming. But anyway, I just want to get it out there because I have noticed that for the amount of makeup that I purchased lately, how much indifference I expressed towards those items. And it's worth considering that with the makeup that I'm talking about today, how different it is from the versions of myself 4 months ago, maybe making the same type of video talking about the makeup that she really, really, really wanted to buy but couldn't afford. So she had to find the items that she already had and applied it to her face to remind herself that, oh, she doesn't need to buy new makeup. The versions of myself right now, she could do it all in an instant. And I don't want anything to be taken away from the joy and the happiness and just the fun of applying makeup. But I have to acknowledge that this is a series when I talk about makeup that I actually like, and I think the ideas of makeup is still really, really sophisticated when it comes to these items. I don't think they're dumb anymore, but now I can actually purchase them if they happen to be available in Australia. So there's a high chance that I will buy these items in the near future, but I think it's still worth it to go to an extra step to look in my current makeup collections to see if any of them is close to the new releases so that I don't need to buy a new one. I can use the one that I already owned. But if all of the tests, all of the trials is only proves that, oh, I really, really want a new makeup. Maybe I should give myself an excuse because this is my hard-earned money. And if I want to celebrate that little part of me enjoying that new item that doesn't damage my wallet a lot, well, like, just do it. And I think that's something that I need to find a way to balance. Like, I don't want to become an example of lifestyle creep. Like, I just make this amount of money recently. I put in the budget. Like, I will not exceed my budget just for makeup. That's I know for sure. But if I lead the way for other things in my life to creep, and makeup is just one little thing to start everything, I think it's very dangerous. First of all, let's talk about a complexion product. It's from Merit. It's called the Uniform Tinted Mineral Sunscreen with SPF 45. I think SPF 45 is a rather odd and specific number when it comes to the protection scale of SPF, but I think some SPF is still better than no SPF, and tinted moisturizer, the subcategory within that is tinted mineral sunscreen specifically. A lot of brands have grasped the trend, and I think they are moving to the execution stage of this kind of trend. So we will see more tinted mineral sunscreens coming out. That's for sure. Or maybe it's not. Maybe this is just a one-off product from Merit. But the descriptions is that is a mineral sunscreen that provides broad spectrum UVA, UVB protections and a sheer tint that blends in with a lightest air finish. It's a sunscreen so perfect you actually want to wear it every day. So that comes the name, the uniform, because it's a one fits all purpose product. I am intrigued by the concept of tinted sunscreen, tinted moisturizer, because I think it's such a me product. I don't want to wear foundations, and I have never worn foundation, at least for a while already. I would say for at least a year, I haven't worn any foundations. But tinted moisturizer and tinted sunscreen is just the perfect texture for me to wear all over my face. I I don't know, like if this product was on sale, I would purchase it. And I think Merit will have one sale towards the end of the year, probably around Black Friday. That's the only sale that the brand runs. I will consider to purchase this product when it comes to that sale. But right now, I want to discover more drugstore options. I think the idea of this product is really cool, but to be safe, this is still a foundation-like product. It's just lighter, it's just more moisturizing, it has SPF in it, but you are supposed to wear it as foundations, and I think to me it's quite risky to pay. How much does it cost? 38 US dollars. So I don't know, like every foundation that is less than $40 to me is a bit affordable, especially when it comes to Merit. It's a high-end brand, a little bit luxury when it comes to the experience to me. So I think it's not really expensive. So like I said, I wouldn't want to try the product for the first time and pay 38 US dollars. It's gonna cost more if you convert it to Australian dollars. So I guess I'll wait for a sale. In the meantime, I'm looking for drugstore and or Korean options so that I know what is my preference when it comes to tinted moisturizer, tinted sunscreen with a little bit of coverage. Then I'll get into the actual tinted moisturizer from more popular brands. Some highlighted ingredients: zinc oxide for broad spectrum UVA UVB protection, final natural powders, visibly smooth and blur skin, lightweight emollients for a soft velvety finish. This product is vegan and cruelty-free. Lightweight and buildable, this 100% mineral zinc oxide active sunscreen melts effortlessly into the skin with zero white cast, providing SPF 45 protection and a sheer tint that feels comfortable throughout the day. Our proprietary pigment dispensing technology creates blendable, even coverage while fine, natural powders, visibly smooth and blur skin appearance for a soft, natural finish. Is a sunscreen you actually want to wear every day. So, okay, the finish is natural, a little bit velvety if I interpret the context right with this product, which is cool. Like, it's a mineral sunscreen with a natural finish. Something that I'm afraid when it comes to sunscreen in general is that it's gonna be too dewy. I have oily skin even in this climate. Not like in this climate, but compared to the rest of Australia and the rest of the world, as we know, is a little bit more humid and hotter. So I guess my skin after I come here is dry seasonally, but even in the coldest of winter, it's still a little bit oily, so I need to steer away from any product that's too dewy because my skin gonna be so greasy after all. So I think the finish seems to be quite ideal to my skin tone. The thing that I'm gonna do today to experiment with that tinted mineral sunscreen theme is that I'm gonna mix this AIRYDAY Golden Glow Dreamscreen. I don't know. I believe this is a chemical sunscreen, and I'm gonna mix it with the Power Perfection Sun BB Cream with SPF 50 plus. This is from the brand I couldn't pronounce most of the time. I will try. Hanmeryeo is a Korean brand, and this is an Australian sun care brand. I believe they are chemical sunscreen, both of them. I never mind a chemical sunscreen because for the majority of the time, that is the type of sunscreen that I wear, and my skin does not discriminate any sunscreen at all. I think maybe it's a luck that I could wear both chemical and mineral sunscreens, no problem at all. This is a tinted moisturizer slash sunscreen, I believe, but it doesn't have a lot of coverage. This is a BB cream with SPF in it, so it does have a little bit of coverage. That's why I think it's quite accurate, it's quite on point if I mix these two products together. And also, like, you can see this tint is a bit warm, and the tint in this BB cream is a little bit cool tone and quite light for my skin tone. So I have tried this BB cream a couple of times already, and I have been loving it with the coverage and with the finish. But the thing that bugged me every single time is that it just really light. It's really pale and cool tone for my light neutral skin. And we are gonna see if everything worked out, mixing it with the AIRYDAY Dreamscreen. I think I've just discovered the perfect combo to create a skin tint that I really like. I think the finish is so good, a little bit too dewy, because I think I mixed a little bit too much of this Dreamscreen. It's more on the dewy side. This BB cream is really matte. I would say like natural matte. It's not too heavy as well because it's only a BB cream, but I think the coverage is really nice. It's the light tint coverage that I adore so much, and I just happened to find these two together. So I think it's a plus side of doing this series that in a way I need to be more creative and like mixing a bunch of products together, trying to find a middle ground. Oh, with this kind of product, how can I join two different products into one? And I think this is really nice. It's just really nice to discover that I can do this thing with the products I already own. And it does mean that with the Merit product, I'm less convinced that I would get it. But I think because a lot of brands have come out with tinted moisturizer, tinted sunscreen, or similar skin tints and lightweight light coverage foundations with SPF in it, I guess Merit is a brand I really like, and I have history with the brand. It means that I have used some products from the brand that I kind of want to try that product, but like I said, I will get into the world of tinted moisturizer by trying K-beauty or drugstore brands before I actually spend 38 US dollars. That's still a lot of money for a complexion product. I don't think I would spend that money yet, but I think it's worth it to do something like this, to mix the two products in my collections, to know that, oh, with this finish, with the skin tint a little bit more coverage than my normal tinted sunscreen, but still have SPF in it, still look like I'm healthy under sun protections. Knowing that, I think I would be more comfortable to purchase like a drugstore version of the Merit one or any other brand that has come out with tinted mineral sunscreen. I don't have brow products and concealer to talk about, so I will quickly apply some concealer. This is the Dior Backstage Flash Perfector Concealer in the shade 1W, and some eyebrow pencil from the brand Florette. And I will be back talking about some color cosmetic products. Something that we have been waiting for, that's Hourglass. They released the customizable ambient lighting edit quad. Whew, I'm quite excited for this release because I think, and I know that this is I want and a lot of people have been wanting. They always release the holiday limited edition 6 pan palette, and I think it's one of the best-selling products. But you cannot choose what products or what shades that you get in those palettes. They release like 3 palettes in the last few years, every single time. And one of the heated discussions that I have ever witnessed within this space on YouTube is that most of the time you couldn't find one palette with all the shades that are usable to one single skin tone. So you might find a palette with like 4 shades, and usually they are mixed with, you know, like finishing powder, blush, bronzer, highlighter, and it's really hard for one to navigate what is a palette for me and what in my skin tone is the ones that could actually utilize 6 shades out of the palette. But I think this is a really cool idea, and I think for utility reasons, this is the best way for you to purchase a palette from Hourglass if you want to try the formulations. And I have heard nothing but good thing, glorious thing, best of the best things about these powder formulations. So I couldn't purchase this palette, just to be honest, because it's domestic US only. This is really, really tempting to me. Like for $78, I think I would purchase it if it's available in Australia and if we can purchase this palette from the website and get it shipped to Australia. But I don't think it's a big deal at all because I think Hourglass is available at Mecca, and at some point, if I really want to try the formulations, I could just get the minis. I will not have the shades that I want in the way that I could customize them into a quad like this, because for $78 and you get 4 shades, I think it's a really good deal. But if I purchase them individually, it will cost me quite a lot, and yeah, they don't have the shades that I want available in store. So I think, I don't know, like I think you cannot have it both ways. The world is not made just for me, and I have to acknowledge that. At the end of the day, if I could not try Hourglass ever, I don't think it's a deal breaker to me. I believe there are formulations out there that could rival Hourglass. It's just the way that people say about this brand. it's just iconic. A lot of people would say that. I don't think it's unsubstitutable, if that's a word. Anyway, I have made a palette of my dream for myself just for entertainment. So I pick a finishing powder in the shade Dim Light. It's a natural beige finishing powder. It has this like neutral pinkish, a little bit peachy undertone. I think it would be quite cool to see how it translates on my skin. I picked two blushes because I need two blushes in the palette. I don't know. I got the shade At Night. It's a brick red in the palette. And of course, this is the shade that I wanted to try the most in Hourglass blush line. It's called Mood Exposure. It's a soft plum. It's a cool toned, muted mauve blush. I don't know why. It looks so good. I think because of the marble looking paint, I feel like it could be quite versatile. Like, I don't think by the look of it, it would be too pigmented. And also the ambient lighting formulations, I think is quite glowy and really refined. So I think it will look really smooth, glowy, but natural on the skin. Doesn't enhance texture at all. So I think the texture, the finish, the color would be just right up my alley. I really, really wanted to try that Mood Exposure one, and I think it's available as a full size at Mecca. Maybe I will purchase that one and that would be all good. And the last thing on my quad is the bronzer in the shade Diffuse Bronze Light. I think this is a cool color. It's a cool bronze with soft yellow undertone. This would be a hybrid contour and bronzers to me because it's also a marble looking paint kind of a product, so you can see the brown portions in the pan. It looks really cool tone. It looks like chocolatey brown with no warmth at all. Then the yellow beige looking stripes, to me mixing them together would give a yellowish but cool tone looking powder. I can imagine it works really well as a contour on my skin. So overall, I don't think this can be categorized as a new release or anything, but if we don't consider the creativity that was put into this product, I think this would be a best-selling just because how much people have been asking for this release. Intentionally, it's only strategic for them to leave it that long, and now you have something that people want. Like, they don't even need to consider whether it's worth it or not. People have been wanting this product and they will get this product. But because it's customizable, you now get what you want. And for people who are new to the Hourglass game, they can still enjoy the fun of, oh, I will create the palette of my own. The curations of the palette will give people the freedom of choice. At least maybe they think it that way. And yeah, they will get the ones that they can use and they actually want. So I think I will give them a lot of points for this release. Even though I cannot get one, I can still admire the idea that you have great formulations for each single pan in the pot, plus the freedom of, oh, I will make a palette of my choice, and it's up to my usage, it's up to what I think I can use. And it makes me wonder, have we seen this customized palette in any brand at all? I think some indie brands, Lethal, I think they have customized palettes like this, but those are individual cheap products to begin with, so it doesn't count. But with Hourglass, you can see that they have perfected the components and the products, so there's no questions need to be asked furthermore whether the product is good or not. It just now people want the format of this customizable quad, and I think this is just really smart from a business point of view. For the video today, because I can never get that palette, I will use my CC Plus Radiance palette from It Cosmetics. This is the natural beige finishing powder. It's a little bit glowy, but it's still very natural if I use it to set my entire face, so it doesn't have any visible glitter at all. Something that I'm a bit concerned about the Hourglass finishing formulation is that it does look a little bit more glowy than I could handle. But with the right brush and the right technique, trying to like buff it out, I think it would look pretty good on the skin. But to be honest, this finishing powder looks quite similar to the Dim Light. Is it the name of the finishing powder shade that I picked? The natural beige color of this powder is really similar to the Hourglass one. So if we are critical right now and think what I already owned versus what I will potentially buy, I already have the exact dupe of that Hourglass finishing powder, and I enjoy this finishing powder as well, so technically, like realistically, there's no point of me to purchase the Hourglass one, but I am enjoying a finishing powder right now, so now I want that palette, but I couldn't get it. Somehow I feel very content that I couldn't get the palette and I have existing products in my collection, but I still want it because it's a cool idea. I don't really have any glowy, cool tone, soft yellow undertone bronzer in my collections. The only contour lash bronzer color that I have in my collections is this Gogo Tails Small Pocket Powder Blusher Eyeshadow Palette. It's a long name and an odd name. And this powder right here, it has this coolness, soft yellow looking to it. So I think is the closest thing that I could find in my collections. Also, something unique about that Hourglass bronzer that I mentioned, most of the time you don't see brand come out with grayish, soft yellow, cool tone bronzer with a glowy finish. I think that's such an interesting idea that you can contour and bronzer at the same time with a glowy powder. I don't know how it's gonna look like on my skin, or maybe it's gonna be too light because I think it's the lightest bronzer. Sorry, it's the lightest bronzer within the line or within the bronzer option that they offer. But I think it's intriguing. Like if I want to buy something from Hourglass and it's expensive, $78 is it's quite expensive to me. I would want something unique so that I can add some newness to my collection. So right now, I think my main goal is still building my collections to be as unique, as various, as abundant as it could be, in the way that I have products from multiple brands, from brands I want to try, and the uniqueness of each product will enhance my utility in my makeup collections, although that might be an illusion. The more I own, the less I use. Maybe? Yeah, but like if I could get that bronzer, I could just like dust it like this and I will have a sculpted but also sun-tan looking like this. And my blush options for today is the Clinique Cheek Pop in the shade, I don't really know, Petal Pop, this pink shade right here. It's not exactly like the Nude Exposure one, but it's a glowy, muted pink blush. I think it's formula-wise could be quite close to the Hourglass one, and I kind of want a pink blush today, and I always like the glowiness of this blush, so that's what I'm using today. But I hope that if one day I could try the Mood Exposure shade, I would hope that it has more purple in it. I think the description is that it's a glowy soft plum, maybe? So I definitely want more mauve and more purple in that Mood Exposure one. I try so hard to find an eyeshadow palette that I'm interested in, and I keep scrolling down Trend Mood, also makeup on your radar. I keep scrolling down and down and down, but I couldn't find a single one with the color story that I want. Maybe it's official that eyeshadow palettes are dead and people don't wear eyeshadow palette anymore, but I think a lot of indie brands, they still release eyeshadow palettes with more colorful, more artistic color stories, and I don't think those color stories are for me anymore. For example, the Lord of the Rings palette from Glamlight, the Lilo and Stitch palette from ColourPop, and the one from, what is the brand? It's an indie brand by Angelica Nyqvist. Cinch Beauty, I think the Agates one, I think those color stories, they are curated for some people with higher level of skills when it comes to makeup techniques so that they can work with a lot of colors at once. To me, I want a boring neutral mauve rosy eyeshadow palette, and for that fact, I have owned so many of them already, and I don't think from a business point of view it's lucrative for people to come out with those palettes knowing that they are not selling anymore, because people are switching into one and done eyeshadow sticks, also single eyeshadows, like sparkly multi-chrome shadow in a pot. I think those are the eyeshadow products that could sell at the moment, and it's quite sad because I still love a good eyeshadow palette with a little bit more neutral color story. So the one that mildly interesting to me at the moment is the new Makeup Forever. What's it called? Artist Color Crayon Waterproof Multi-Use Stick for cheeks, lips, and eyes. I think, to be honest, I am more interested in the economical aspect of this product, as it's a multi-use product, so I can use it for the eyes, cheeks, and lips, especially two shades, Endless Cacao and Wearable Walnut. Those two, I have heard so many people talk about the lip liner versions of those two colors, and now imagine I can use one stick for the eye, for the cheeks, and also if I use them, if I use the pointed tip as a lip liners, I could actually experience so many products at once. And I think that's handy. I don't think the product is unique or the color is so innovative. The color is so unique and you can pick so many in the shade range. I think it's quite average. It has blusher shade, bronzer maybe, and then a bunch of pinks and reds and purples and neutral browns. So I think it's quite average when it comes to texture and finish and colors. But the two shade Endless Cacao and Wherever Walnut, I think those two, for the main reason that I could use them for so many purposes, is gonna be so cost effective. And thinking about cost per product, I think eyeshadow crayons or eyeshadow stick is quite expensive because it's the price of a mid-range to maybe, if we wiggle it a little bit, a drugstore eyeshadow palette in the price of one eyeshadow stick. So to me, I haven't purchased any eyeshadow stick in my life. Maybe I have, or I don't remember, but I have purchased singles in my life. But with just a matte single eyeshadow stick, I feel like if it cost me the price of an eyeshadow palette, I would rather purchase a palette with 3 mattes in it, guaranteed. And I think that's more cost effective for me. So I will buy a sparkly and interesting shimmer eyeshadow, even though it's a single, as opposed to buying a matte single eyeshadow that I think I could get a palette with 5 times as many shades as just one single eyeshadow. And matte eyeshadow, I love a good brown, rose, mauve, pink matte shade. But to really consider to get one matte eyeshadow for the price of multiples, that stopped me from buying crayon stick. So I think there's nothing cool and fun or interesting at the end of the day about the Makeup Forever one, but I don't know, maybe the formulation is that good and it's that versatile so that I can use it on my entire face. And it could be fast, especially if I bring that product with me to work. And I can get ready in the morning with just that product. Wow, that sounds handy. That sounds like a perfect product for me with my FIFO lifestyle right now. So if it's available at Sephora, and I will wait when it goes on sale, I don't know, maybe I will get the 2 shades that I just mentioned. In the meantime, I will use my liquid matte eyeshadow. This is the only matte single liquid eyeshadow that I have, but I really like the color and I think the texture, the finish is really good. This is from the brand Flortte. It's in the shade number 4. It's a cool tone brown with a rosy undertone. For a matte liquid single eyeshadow like this, I think the price is really good. That's why I don't mind with like very affordable single eyeshadow. And if the color is the colors that I can use every single day and it works for a lot of looks, I don't mind getting one for an affordable price. But yeah, I don't want to spend too much money on single eyeshadows in general. Like I have to think a lot if I want to purchase even like sparkly multi-chrome Cleona type of eyeshadow because it's really expensive. Is it worth it to have that kind of effect versus buying an eyeshadow palette from a brand that you trust with like solid formulations, knowing that you can actually get more use in terms of like weight out of the palette? I love this one so much. I think the color is just so natural, but it's so perfect. It adds a little bit of depth to my eyes, but yeah, it doesn't look sharp at all. It's such a nice subtle color, and it sets my lids. I'm gonna add a little bit of this NYX Buttermelt bronzer in the shade Butter Than Dew on my crease, because I want like a burgundy warm brown look today. Ooh, geez, that's pigmented. Ooh, that's actually the color that I want, but wow, that's really pigmented. That's so pigmented. Like, I don't know, I pick up like a tiny amount of product. Jeez, but it went so far. Now that I think of that Makeup Forever crayon, maybe I can also use this as eyeliner and use like a small brush to like smudge it out to create like a smoky eye look. Yeah, the more I think about that product, the more that I want to get it, because just imagine the scenario of me being a cool girl. I could use one product to do a full face. Dang, now I want to get it. I think it will available at some point at Sephora in Australia. And what is the price? Wait, $33. Okay, so okay, that's a lot of money, like 33 US dollar. I think it would be retail in Australia for 55 Australian dollars. And if I get it on sale, 20% off or even less, so it would be around $45 mark. Well, that's a lot of money. Okay, I have second thought about this product. Like, if it's too expensive for what it is, and I could just buy like a drugstore eyeshadow stick for $45. I could buy 5 products at this drugstore. Yep. So, do we want to go for quantity or quality? Not knowing what the quality maybe? And finally, out of everything, this is the most likely product that I will get. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheek Contour Dual Lip Liner. So I'm not sure is it still the Lip Cheek Lip Liner formula, but you have two in one, two colors in one. I saw it at Mecca. I saw it online on Mecca website, and I think it looks quite cool because you have two lip liners in one, and I have so many good things about these formulations in particular. So, and it's $26 for a duo, and I believe the price at Mecca is like 38 Australian dollars. You have two in one. I'm not sure about like price per gram, but two colors for 38 Australian dollars, I think it's quite reasonable. And the brand is quite luxury, it's quite expensive as well. But I have to say the look of the product is not appealing at all. I think it looks drugstore-like. So the description is that it's a 2-in-1 contour trick for full-looking lips, 2 pigmented, blendable formulas in one easy-to-use pencil. A darker position sculpt and create contouring shadows and a lot of soft and creamy feel and to add all of the color. I think the idea is really cool. Like, I think multi-purpose products have this appealing qualities to me lately. Like everything 2-in-1, 3-in-1, multi-purpose you can use for multiple areas on your face is the type of product that is actually useful to me at the moment, because like I said, I have to work on site 8 days and then I go back home, only stay here for 6 days, and then I go back to work. I have limited amount of time to get ready in the morning, so something like quick compacted is just the ideal products I want to get right now. So I will very likely to get this lip liner. I'm in between. I'm not sure if I will get the fair shade or the medium shade. The fair shade is pink, rosy, kind of like a pink pillow talk color. And the medium shade is a bit more brown, it's a bit more neutral, has a lot more brown in it. So I'm in between. I will either pick fair or medium. Right now, I will test the idea of 2 lip liners. If you don't know, I have been pretty enthusiastic about lip liners. I have purchased a few lip liners lately and have been using them, playing around with them. So actually, like, if I was myself a few months ago, I would never be interested in this launch at all. But for how much I like lip liners at the moment, I think I like the idea of a dual lip liner, especially from the brand Charlotte Tilbury. I have never tried any product from the brand, and I think for so many good compliments and so many good recommendations about the lip chip formula, maybe it's safe to start there. Right now, I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild lip liner in the shade Brandy Wine. It's a reddish brown. It's a deeper shade, and I'm gonna use it to sculpt my lips, as the brand suggests in the product that you use a darker shade to create like a contouring shadow to your lips. But I won't do too much because I don't know, I'm not that good at working with lip liner yet. And then I'm gonna fill in the rest with the Makeup and Mario lip liner, Ultra Suede Sculpting lip liner in the shade Rich Mauve, as a fill in all over color. I think like by just looking at this product, I learned like a new technique. I think that's that free makeup advice that you could find on the internet somehow, that if you use a darker lip liner to sculpt your lips and then a lighter color to fill in the rest, and then I think the result is really nice. It's like a nice soft velvety look but still natural, because it doesn't have a lot of like ingredients, a lot of base in it, so it doesn't spread out to be quite thick. The pencil lip liner formula, I think it's quite stiff, but in a way, because it's waxy, it doesn't spread too much. So I think you have this like soft focus looking lid. Ooh, and it's quite matte. It's just really good. Even though I have not decided whether I would eventually get the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Chip Duo, I think just by learning these techniques make me feel really good about makeup. And I think that's the way that we should feel whether we buy new makeup or not. Every day we get on the internet, we should feel grateful, is that the word? We should feel like even if we don't get a chance to buy new makeup, makeup is supposed to be our own personal progress and our own personal discovery. And just by learning one little technique, like how to use 2 lip liners on, one darker to contour your lips and one lighter to fill in, even though it's so simple, we know that we have maybe learned it before, but to actually realize that, ooh, it's actually the main idea behind a new product. If we can use something that we already owned, but still in a way captured the idea, well then that's something new. And I think that's it. That's everything I want to do and I want to talk about in this episode of Search for the Novelty. Yep. And it's a bit long. It's a bit different from the way that I have filmed my Search for the Novelty series, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Once again, I'm Claudia and hopefully we see each other again. Bye!